The Ministry of Finance says the country needs to expand its tax base to cover the state's balance sheets.
One possible solution: make sure all companies are actually paying their taxes.
Benjamin Franklin famously said that nothing in this world was certain. Nothing, that is, but death and taxes. But in Indonesia, taxes, even those owed by some of the country's largest companies, are anything but certain. 80% of the state's funding comes from taxpayer money, but the government admits that the office routinely misses most quotas. The Ministry of Finance places the blame on the country's taxmen. Ministry officials say tax collectors often focus their energies on the easiest taxpayers, the companies operating in the mining and agribusiness sectors. These companies ship out taxable commodities, an easy get for lazy taxmen. But now, with softer commodity prices and weaker demand from China, the tax revenues generated by these industries alone aren't enough to float the state's budget. Ministry officials say companies working in the property, finance, communication, and transportation sectors have been allowed to operate with less scrutiny from the tax office. The head of the tax office argues that this is because his department suffers from inadequate staffing. Faoud Rahmani says that without a small army of tax collectors, it's impossible to ensure that everyone in Indonesia pays their taxes.
Juga nggak semua sektor yang melambat kan, ada sektor-sektor yang juga tetap cukup tinggi pertumbuhannya seperti jasa keuangan ya, sektor konstruksi dan propertis, ya dia lebih melambat dibandingkan tahun lalu, tapi lumayan masih agak cukup tinggi juga. Gitu. Tapi yang lain seperti pertambangan memang negatif ya, ekspor juga negatif, import juga negatif, ya itu semuanya dampaknya tentunya kalau import ya PPN import juga jadi terpengaruh. Kegiatan ekonomi juga kena ada yang melambat, ya tentunya PPN dalam negeri juga melambat. Jadi ya memang kita harus kerja maksimal aja orang pajak ini.
But the country's top economy minister, Hatib Basri, says the tax office needs to become more efficient, not larger, to expand the country's tax base.
Dengan jumlah tenaga kerja yang tidak cukup, apa yang bisa dilakukan supaya penerimaan negara tetap bisa naik? Apakah efisiensi, apakah disiplin, apakah bagaimana mengurangi kebocoran? Ini yang harus kita lakukan, karena kita tahu bahwa tidak mungkin menambah aparat pajak 4 kali lipat hanya dalam waktu 1 tahun. Ini kendala, ini constraint yang tidak mungkin dirubah. Jadi dengan constraint atau kendala seperti itu, coba datang dengan kebijakan-kebijakan sehingga penerimaan negara dari pajak itu bisa.
The central government recently lowered its expectations for tax revenue this year, writing off some 49 trillion rupiah from the state's coffers. Government officials say weaker commodity prices are to blame, but others argue the need for reform in the graft-prone tax office. Faoud says, though, that there aren't enough people to collect taxes in Indonesia, and that, he argues, is another certainty in this world. If the taxman fails to show, the taxes will not be paid.